Okay, in terms of the readings, rather than use a textbook, which I have in previous semesters, I've decided instead to post PDFs of articles on Blackboard each week. You'll have a series of short readings to do. One will usually be sort of a summary of the week's topic to give you kind of a good overview. Another reading or two will be on a specific subject related to the overall topic. I may ask you on certain weeks to answer questions on Blackboard based on the reading, and those will be part of your overall reading assignments for the class, which will be about 7.5% of your grade. There are 5 quizzes. Each quiz is on only a portion of the class material, usually about 3 weeks. So 3 weeks and the quiz, another 3 weeks and the quiz, etc. The final exam is just the 5th quiz, which will not be cumulative. These are all open note as well. So taking good notes is important. You can use those notes as you are taking the quizzes and studying for the quizzes. Okay, so each quiz is about 12.5% each, total of 62.5%. You're also going to have a final project. The final project has 2 parts. A writing assignment and a group presentation. Everyone's going to be broken up. Well, but the class is going to be broken up. You're not going to be broken up. Class will be broken up into groups. Each group will be assigned an ancient civilization. You are going to research why that civilization collapsed, the different hypotheses that have been used to explain it. And as a group, you're going to do preliminary research. At the very end of the semester, you're going to have a presentation, which will be like a video or a presentation. And as individuals, you're going to use that preliminary research, do additional research, and write a research paper on that topic. So the final project has an individual portion and a group portion. And I'll talk more about that during the semester. Let's take a look at the syllabus. So, as most of you probably know, the class fulfills 2 Gen Ed requirements, global perspectives, and also historical perspectives. The class will be asynchronous, so we will not have class meetings during assigned times. All the work can be done to your own schedule. Please email me. You can see my email up here. If you have any questions or any concerns, or to set up an appointment so we can talk virtually via Zoom or Blackboard Collaborate, don't hesitate at all to email me with any concerns or questions. Please also let me know if there's any difficulties you're having outside of the classroom that might impact your classwork. I'll try to do the best I can to help or to at least point you in the right direction in terms of resources at the university that you can access. So I have here a link to a special circumstances and financial hardship requests page that the university has set up. Okay, well, the way I've organized it is we're going to talk about this week. The overall topics are going to look at as you can tell from the name of the course, the origins of civilization. And we're really looking at 2 big questions in the history of human beings. Right? How did we go from mobile hunting and gathering societies to sedentary farming or agricultural societies? Additionally, how did we go from fairly small scale groups where people were relatively equal in terms of power to very hierarchical, large-scale ancient civilizations? So these were 2 dramatic changes in ancient human history, and we're going to look at this change throughout the world, in different parts of the world, not only the Western world. Okay, you can look at these Gen Ed skills on your own, read them in more detail. In terms of the skill goals, right, you'll see that critical thinking is one. Another one here for global perspectives is collaboration. So that's one of the reasons why I have a group project, is so that we'll fulfill that Gen Ed requirement. Problem solving is another skill that you're going to get over the course of the semester. Right? Again, if you have any requirements in terms of exams or anything like that, please talk to the Disability Support Student Center, and also talk to me, and we can set something up if you need additional resources. Right? Okay, so as I said before, there's no textbook. I'm going to put all of the reading online. Again, I have the setup over here as I went over it before in the PowerPoint. The library has wonderful resources. I'm going to show you the Blackboard website for the class, and in the Blackboard website you'll see there will be a link to eReserve, which will have lots of resources to use for your final project. I have the topics laid out week by week, as you're going to see in a minute, but everything is posted on Blackboard. So the quote-unquote lectures will be links for YouTube videos, which will be on Blackboard. I will also have outlines to help you take notes. Right? So the outlines will have a series of sort of questions or things to pay attention to. You'll use the outlines to kind of stay focused on the videos, and also to help you figure out what you should be writing down. Right? So hopefully by the end of the class, you will understand ancient cultures throughout the world, not just in the U.S., but outside the United States as well. You'll be able to think critically about historical processes and apply it to our own culture as well. You'll be able to increase your critical thinking skills and understand how archaeological data is used to generate hypotheses. You'll improve your writing and also your oral presentation. So this first week, we're going to kind of do a crash course in archaeology and archaeological methods. We're going to talk about how archaeology is done, dating techniques and things like that, and talk a little bit about the end of the Ice Age, which will set us up for the next week. Next week, we'll be talking about the beginnings of agriculture, what agriculture is, where it first started, and we're going to focus on the Middle East, or sometimes called the Near East. I also have 2 YouTube videos that you'll watch in addition to some of the readings next week, and there will be a reading assignment. Usually the reading assignments are due at the end of the week, so usually I make it like Sunday at the end of that week. And it will be on DNA studies that have been done in Europe from Neolithic skeletons. Right? Then we're going to go into agriculture in Europe, agriculture outside of Europe, in other areas of the world. Then we're going to talk about the origins of what are called complex societies. We'll learn what a complex society is. We'll learn about chiefdoms and states. You'll have a week where we look at writing, ancient writing, such as cuneiform and hieroglyphs and ancient Maya writing. Then we'll start looking at civilizations one by one. Each week we'll focus on a different area or a different ancient civilization. We'll start with Mesopotamia, the world's first civilization, which is now in modern-day Iraq. Then we'll move over and talk about ancient Egypt. And then in week 8, we'll look at the Harappan civilization, which is in the area of India and Pakistan. Then we'll move to, quote-unquote, the New World, the Western Hemisphere, our area of the world, just a little south of us in Central America, Mesoamerica. We'll talk about the Olmec and Teotihuacan. And then the next week, the ancient Maya and the Aztec. Then we'll move down to South America, look at some of the ancient civilizations there, including the Inca Empire. And we'll talk about China. And that will sort of wrap up what are called primary states. And then we'll begin to talk about secondary states. Now, what you'll notice is that I have the quizzes They'll usually be due on the at the end of the week as well. I have when the quizzes will be given, so they will be posted on Blackboard. You'll be able to again use your notes to take them, but you could kind of see according to the schedule when the quizzes will be, and you also can see when the different reading assignments which weeks they will be assigned. Okay, so then we're going to talk about secondary states. That will be kind of the last week before the very final week, week 14, April 19th. You guys will have handed in your papers the previous week on Wednesday. And then later that week, like Thursday, Friday, and over the weekend, you'll get in your groups, you'll make a presentation, you'll send me the link to the video or the video itself. I will post that on YouTube. And so during this week, everyone will watch all of the group presentations and take some notes. And some of that material will be on the final quiz, which will be given, again, open note, during finals week. So that is essentially the syllabus. You can take a look at it and ask me any questions. Now what I'd like you to do is to look at Blackboard. I'm going to show you a little bit about the Blackboard website, and then we'll kind of get into some of the material for the class. Okay, so I will use Blackboard for most things in the class. Hopefully you clicked on the Begin Here link and you were able to get the syllabus, which is available here or over here on the left, the introductory videos. And then each week, if you go to weekly content and then click on that week, you'll find an outline for taking notes. You'll find the videos for that week. And you'll also find reading assignments if they are due that week. Also on the left, I'm going to be adding information about the final project soon and links to library resources. Okay, so now you should click on the weekly content in week 1 and maybe get started with some of the introductory material for this week.